This is Dr. Von Madden. Today we're going to be building the pizza box wood and plastic catapult. Underneath here is a pizza box, which is the chassis for this thing, but I guarantee you it will deliver destruction to your opponents in 30 minutes or less. Or the next eraser through their wall is free. Now, what you're going to need for this little number, as you can see, it's got a nice little thing. It's got a removable spoon. We're going to be using this Wendy's spoon for that because, for one thing, it's what I've got, and another thing is these are very sturdy little spoons for this sort of thing. Now, you're going to be needing for your chassis a piece of a pizza box, which I have right here. You're going to need one of the giant ones, a handful of the regular size ones, the regular size popsicle sticks, one giant one, one medium rubber band, the hot glue gun, be careful, a spoon, and we're going to get started. Now, let me move this up here where you can see what I'm a-cutting. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to cut up like along here, and we'll trim it down once I get it out. But right here, you're going to unfold this one up and shear it off. Now, as you can see, this one here I cut it a little bit off angle, but we can fix that right quick because you're not needing this whole thing, so that ought to do the job. Just kind of even it up a little bit. Now, your next step, and this is where it gets a little bit on the tricky side, but you can still do it, is to cut down this. It's going to be your side plates, and these are kind of important because that helps keep your arm into the right position. Now, I've cut it down, but as you can see, I've cut it where it's not exactly even. That's okay. We're going to come up here and cut these as long. If you can cut them even on the first shot, then more power to you. Now, I got to trim some of this down. There you are. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our chassis here. We're going to come up here. I haven't plugged this thing in. Well, hang on a minute. I'll tell you what. I thought I had this glue gun plugged in. I will be back in a minute. Apparently, I did not have the glue gun plugged in. Be back in a minute. Well, this is Dr. Von Mad. We're back. I'm about to try to see if I can get this glued into place. Sorry about that. I thought I had this dude plugged in, and apparently not. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up here. There you go. And you want to glue it along the edge, like so. Now I may end up having to re-glue that when he slippy slid. But let me grab another glue stick. That's not quite ready for a glue stick yet. Alright, so what we're going to do now is you got to come up here on this side. Do the same measure. Now, what you want to do now is to make sure that they're going to be even, so you kind of set it down like that and make sure that you got the same amount on each side. Now your next step is going to be to take one of the regular sticks. Now you could use a piece of cardstock or something, cardboard, but we're going to use one of these, so because it's what I got on hand and that's what I designed the original with, so we're going to go with what brought us to this design. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up here, right about here. This serves two purposes. For one, it serves as a energy storage fulcrum for your arm, for your launch arm, and two, it gives them a little more structural stability to the sides of this thing, which you're going to have a lot of sides to this thing. So your next step, you're going to grab another stick like this, and you're going to cut it down like so, and that's going to glue into place right here. Now your chassis at this point ought to look something like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to the top of this, where the frame is, right in here, and edge this glue into place, and slide that in. Now we're going to do that. I'm going to do another one down here below. Now, you're going to have one inside and one on the outside. So you're going to want to cut this one very carefully because it's going to have to fit inside this thing. You can cut it off, but you can't add it. So you got to be very gentle cutting it off. So it's got to fit just inside there without clearing it completely. Let's see. Oh yeah. Let's see. That's going to fit in like so. And you want it angled, so because that's going to be the bottom part of your spoon, the thing that holds the handle on your spoon. So you're going to want it to be facing out. Now, we're going to grab another one and do the same thing over here. Now this one can be a tad longer, but I'm going to see if I can get it to where it fits in there good. Because it's going to have to fit in like so. See? And you want it even with this beam right here. Now I got stringers. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up here. And you're going to put that into place and you're going to glue this in. Now what that's going to do is, see, this little slot under here is going to hold your handles. So we got to keep it fairly tight. And if it don't want to glue down right off the bat, you may have to re-glue it a little bit. That's the trickiest part of this thing. Right here is the locking mechanism for the arm. So what you're going to do is we're going to come up here with this guy here. Let's go in underneath and see if I can push him up just a hair's breadth. Because I don't want it too close in, but it's going to have to be. You got to have a little bit of clearance so that you can get that the spoon handle in there. So I'll come up here and do that again. Glue this into place and make sure it's even. So it should look something like this now. Now your next step is going to be to grab another set of these sticks. You're going to cut this one in half. Or close to it. You may have to trim off a little bit of extra. What this is going to do is secure the locking unit. Like I said, this one here, it's lightweight, so I kind of overcompensated a little bit on the design to keep it from being too lightweight and therefore too flimsy in its design. So I put a lot of extra reinforcement, buttressing on it now. Now you see I've got this one here a little bit longer than it needs to be, so what we're going to do is come up here and cut this down. Now let's go back up here and I'll have to re-secure this one. I just yanked it off its buttressing here. Now put this back in place. Now you're going to have one more that's going to come up across the top right here. Now what that's for, and I'll probably put one more below, what that's for is to basically secure the frame. Because I want to secure this block right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put one here and one here, because like I said, you really want this front on this thing reinforced heavily, or at least as heavily as you can get away with. So right now we're going to come in here and your whole frame should look something like this right now. That's going to slide into place here. There you are. Now you got one more thing that's going to go in, and that's going to glue in right back here. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut this down. It'd probably be fine without it, but I'm going to add it because I put it on the original, and there's no point in me putting it on the original if we're not going to use it here too. So that slides into place right here. Now let this dry a few minutes while I show you how this thing fits on here. So your spoon will slide into place right there. And see, this one here is not going to have the same angle of attack. You can alter your angle. If you want a higher angle, cut this down a little more, or this down a little more. You really wouldn't cut it much less because you don't want it unless you're trying to get a direct 90-degree arc on this thing. But now, what you're going to do now is loop this rubber band here up around the top of our spoon, and let's give her a test. See, So, I mean, that simple. Let's test this thing with a, like I said, a lot of times when you get these things built, you kind of have to test them to see what they're going to do. So, I'm going to give this one a quick test, and maybe when I'm sure that the glue's cured enough, we'll give it a range test to see what it's capable of. So, we're going to try lobbing something across the workshop and see what I get. Then, I'll see if it's to where I want it, and then you can tinker with it from there. So, basically, that one there's not getting the strength I want out of it. That or I just didn't pull it back far enough. Oh, that'll do it. It's not as far, it's not got the strength of the original, but it's a different spoon, different angle of attack, and a lot of other factors. But it is a functional catapult, and it's lightweight and inexpensive to construct. So if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified. Look for us. I managed now to start sharing my videos to Pinterest, to Facebook, and to Google+. And we'll see you guys, one and all, on the flip side. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.